Okay, let's dive into this. We're talking about a book that did more than just sell millions of copies. It basically kicked off a global movement. We're breaking down The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, a philosophy that just completely challenged the whole 9 to 5 work till you drop model of life. So, get this. This one sentence is basically the key to everything. The entire philosophy rests on this idea. The goal isn't having $1 million sitting in a bank account. It's about having the complete freedom that you think $1 million will buy you. But what if you could have that freedom? You know, the travel, the free time, all the options, like right now, without needing that $1 million. Right, so before we get to the solution, we've got to talk about the problem. And the problem is this trap that so many of us fall into, this illusion that having a ton of money is the actual key to a good life. The book kicks off with this perfect, well, cautionary tale, really. It's about a multimillionaire magnate named Mark. He's on a first-class flight covered in diamonds, and he straight up admits his life is totally empty. He's like a living ghost who traded his best years for a bunch of stuff he doesn't even enjoy. It just goes to show absolute wealth is not the goal. And this guy, Mark, he was a victim of something the book calls the deferred life plan. And you know what? It's the script most of us are handed. Work your tail off, save every penny, and then one day, someday, you'll finally get to live. It's a plan that asks you to sacrifice your best, most energetic years for a promise of rest and future that, let's be honest, is never guaranteed. So if that old plan is totally broken, what's the alternative? Well, the book introduces us to this new kind of person who's playing a completely different game. They're called the new rich. The new rich? They just don't wait. Their goal is to create a life filled with freedom and adventure right now. And their currency isn't just about money. It's about time and the freedom to be anywhere. They get that those two things are the real ways to multiply your wealth. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this side-by-side comparison. The whole way of thinking is different. The deferrer wants to work for themselves. The new rich wants other people working for them. The deferrer dreams about retiring someday. The new rich takes mini retirements all throughout their life. It's not about being lazy and avoiding work. It's about redesigning work so it serves your life, not the other way around. So, to live like the new rich, you pretty much have to throw out the old rule book. You've got to learn the rules of this completely new game.
And rule number 1, man, this just flips everything on its head. Stop looking at retirement like it's the grand prize at the end. It's not. It's a safety net. It's an insurance policy for the absolute worst-case scenario where you physically can't work anymore. That's it. It's not the paradise you should be slaving away for.
Okay, here's another huge one. A total game changer. We're all taught to chase that big number, right? Absolute income? But the new rich care about relative income. I mean, look at the math here. Person B, who makes $50,000 a year but only works 10 hours a week, is actually 4 times richer than person A, who makes double that but works 80 hours a week for it. It's not just about what you earn, it's about what it costs you in time to get there. And the rules just keep coming, each one designed to kind of dismantle the old way of thinking. Like your energy isn't a constant, so you should plan for cycles of intense work and total rest. Or stop waiting for the perfect time, because, spoiler alert, it doesn't exist. And get this, doing less unimportant work isn't lazy. It's just smart. All right, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? Where do you even begin? Well, the book gives us a practical 4-step plan, and it all starts with this one crucial step. The whole system is built around this acronym, DEAL. That stands for definition, elimination, automation, and liberation. It's basically the roadmap, and it all kicks off with D, for definition. You have to tear down your old, self-defeating beliefs and figure out what you really want. But before you can do that, you have to face the biggest roadblock of all. And the answer, for almost everybody, is fear. It's that vague, undefined worry about what might go wrong. It's what keeps you stuck. You know, the fear of failing, the fear of what people will think, fear of the unknown. So the book offers this incredibly powerful exercise to deal with it. It's called fear setting. Instead of just vaguely worrying, you get super specific. First, you write down, in painful detail, the absolute worst things that could happen if you go for it. Then, you think about what you would do to fix it, to get back on your feet. And what you almost always find when you do this is that the worst-case scenario, it's really not that bad. It's usually temporary, maybe like a 3 out of 10 on the life impact scale. But the potential upside, The life you could build? That's permanent. That's a 9 or 10 out of 10. The risk is almost never as big as your fear makes it out to be. So here's the crazy part. Once you get past that fear, you realize something totally backwards. It's actually harder to go for a realistic goal. Why? Because that's what everyone else is doing. The competition is fierce. Aiming for something that seems unrealistic is often easier because almost nobody else is even trying. Okay, let's pull all of this together. Once the old ideas are shattered and fear is put in its place, we're left with one last, really important shift in thinking. You gotta stop asking, what do I want? Or what would make me happy? Happiness is, well, it's vague. It comes and goes. Ask this instead. What excites me? Because the true opposite of happiness isn't being sad, it's being bored. Excitement is the cure for boredom. That's the fuel. Go chase that feeling. And this right here, this is the final wake-up call. Someday is the most dangerous word you can tell yourself. It's the excuse we all use to put our real lives on hold, just waiting for some perfect moment that is never going to come. Look, the conditions are never going to be perfect. The stars will never perfectly align. So with this new way of looking at things, the only real question left is the one right there on your screen. What are you waiting for?